one and all. We are working on our card game in Java using object-oriented programming, and we are almost ready to code out the game class. I realize there are a couple, we're going to have to make a few modifications, so this video is going to cover that. I didn't anticipate it, so I started thinking about how we're going to do our game. So let me show you in comments what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is create our playing hands. We're all set to do that. Then we're going to deal our cards to our hands. Then we're going to deal 2 cards to the dealer, and this is the rules. We're going to then show the player's hands, and we're only going to flip the dealer's first card, okay? And then at that point, we'll show the dealer's cards. Now, the difference is going to be, according to the rules of blackjack, or 21, you deal the cards to the players face up. So we're just going to deal, and we're going to flip and deal. We're going to deal them, then we're going to flip them before we show them. So we'll flip them all as we are showing them. That will show their hands. But we want to be able to show the total points that they have so they kind of know where they're at on the game. But with the dealer, we're going to show the first card. We don't want to show what the total is, because then that reveals what we don't want to reveal, which is how many points the dealer has, because that's part of the game. So in order to do that, we need to make some modifications to both our card class and our hand class, and then we'll come back and we should be able to get all of this done. And we could probably do it in just a few minutes. So the first thing we want to do is this variable is face up, part of the card, is private, which means we can deal with it in our card class. But what we want to do is we want to actually be able to check it outside. And so we're going to go ahead and make this public. Now, there are 2 options. We can make this variable public, or we can get, basically, we can get face up, which is kind of awkward. It's kind of nicer just to do it as a public variable. And so we're just going to leave it like this. And if you are opposed, send a comment. I'll go ahead and post it if you don't agree. And tell me why, because I would love to hear kind of the general idea, or what would your solution be. For time's sake, I'm running low on time. We're at the end of the school year, so we want to wrap this up soon. So here we go. We're going to show the hand, but the part of the problem with showing the hand is we only want to show the hand if, actually we're going to show the hand, but we want to show the total if all of the cards happen to be face up. And so that's why we changed that card to is face up. And we're only going to show it if all the cards are face up so that we don't reveal the dealer's hand yet. Before we do it, though, I realized I had the deck flip the cards for all the cards in the deck. And that's fine, but I think we should be able to flip all the cards in our hand as well. So let's fix that first. So I'm going to put it right before the give method, right on line 42, one of my favorite numbers. Actually, it is my favorite number. This is going to be void because flipping the cards does not need us to send any information out. So it's void. Null and void. All right. So all we have to do is loop through our cards. I'm going to do it just like we did on the for each loop above, as you can see as our reference on show hand, knowing that our cards are actually array lists. It allows us to use for each loops. And it's just c dot flip card. Not too terribly difficult. So we're okay there. That's an easy thing. But the hard part is how do we show the total, but only if all of our cards are face up. So first of all, before I do anything else, I'm going to comment that in there. And in fact, I'm going to do as a multi-line comment. I might need to use that. So that's what we're doing. We're only going to show the total points if all the cards are face up. So anytime we have this if here, we need some kind of Boolean expression or a Boolean variable. And in this case, we're going to use a variable, and we're going to create it right inside of here. So it's Boolean. And we're just going to call it all face up. I like to set my Boolean variables so that I can put it in an if statement. So I can say if all face up. And I could have been a little bit more verbose. I could have said if all are face up, but really if all face up, I think that's good. We're going to set it, to false, not 0. Although 0 is technically a false value, I suppose you could say. All right, anyway, so we're going to set all face up to false. And actually, we're not going to set it to false. Let's set it to true. And you might be going, whoa, what's going on here? Why would we set that to true? Well, we're going to set it to true. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loop through all of the cards. And if any of them happen to be face down, we are going to set that to false. We already have a loop through all of our cards, so maybe we should just take advantage of it inside of that loop. In fact, I'm going to switch the order here just because I want to. And so the string will be the first thing we do, because that is the variable we are going to return. But since we are going to be looping through these anyway, let's go ahead and check. Oh, wait a minute. No, we can't do it that way. The reason why is we got to think about it. Let's say we have 2 cards. The first card is face up. The second one is face down. Well, in that case, when we get to the second one, if it's face down, we change that to false. But if the first one were face down, the second one were face up, we would want to get out of the loop at some point. Actually, no, we can do it this way. Let's just go ahead. We'll try it, and then if it doesn't work, we'll do something about it. Actually, we're going to say if not C dot is face up. And all face up equals false. Okay, so we're only going to change all face up to false if one of the cards in our loop is not face up. So here we've kind of condensed our code a little bit, took advantage of the fact we already had a for loop. Why not do that? Okay, so now at this point we are either all face up or we are not. So if we are all face up, show total. So that's another if. If is face up, str plus equals, it doesn't like that is face up. String plus equals, oh, are we, no, we're out of the loop, we're okay. Let's add total points equals plus, now we need to get total, I believe it is, plus new line. And the reason why we're doing that is after our total points, we should add an extra line return. Oh, it's not is face up, if all face up. I was looking at that red underline, and you're probably noticing on the screen and telling me it was. All right, at this point, if all are face up, we're going to add total points, and we're going to save our changes. Now, I think this is going to work, but we're going to have to test it out. So let's go ahead and test it out. So I said we're going to create our playing hands, so let's go ahead and do that. So for our playing hands, we're going to declare our variables. Hand, H1, H2, H3. We'll do 3 hands and a dealer. Okay, we created them, but we need to initialize them. So H1 equals new hand, like so. We're going to do the same thing for our remaining hand objects. And you're probably going, wait. Oh, I see. He's going to change them later. There we have it. So that creates all of our playing hands. They are all created. Now we're going to deal cards to our hands. Deck 1 dot deal. And we're going to, this time, we're going to send it to hands. I'm going to send 2 cards per hands. Wait a minute. We don't have our hands. I jumped the gun a little bit here. So, hands. There we go. Equals, oh wait, not new. We're going to go ahead, H1, H2, H3. So that we've declared, we've initialized, and now we've placed them into our hands. Anyway, okay, never mind. So we're going to deal 2 cards to the hands. Now it likes it. And we're going to deal 2 cards to the dealer. Deal. Dealer. 2. Like so. Okay, we're going to show the player's hands. In order to show them, we need a for loop. Int I equals 0. I is less than hands dot length I plus plus. There's our for loop to loop through our hands. And we're going to do hands, next position I dot flip cards, flips all of our cards. And then I think we need to do a system dot out dot print line. Hands, index position I dot. Uh-oh, it's not on there. What did I do wrong? It should be show hand, right? Oh, there it is, show hand. Not sure what I was trying to type out there. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our dealer's hands and make sure that that's working okay. Can we go ahead and run it? Hey, look at that. Sweet. All right, 4 of spades, deuce of hearts, total 0.6. 3 of hearts, 3 of diamonds. Ace of hearts, remember, that is worth 1 unless it is less than or equal to 11, in which case we add 10. That gives us 21. Let's go ahead and run it again. See if we get another ace. This time, ace is also worth 10 points. And so this is really good. Okay, so it looks like things are working out okay. Now we got to test. Can we deal the dealer's first card or flip the first card and show all of the dealer's hands? So we're going to put dealer. And this time, we're going to take the first card, dot. Do we create our dealer's hand? Get. No. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Dealer.cards get 0 dot flip card, flip the first card, and now finally system dot out dot print ln, put on here dealers cards. Go ahead and do a new line, do the plus sign, and then we'll go ahead and do dealer dot, no, not get total, dot show hand. So we're going to show the dealer's hand. Let's put this on a new line. I don't like having my lines get too long. And we'll go ahead and tab that out. Okay. Let's go ahead and test this out and see if that's working. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Ace of clubs, face down, nothing to see here, and no total points. So, everything looks good. Let's see what happens when we deal to our hands 3 cards. See what happens with that ace when we got 3 cards. Ace of spades, ace of diamonds, king of hearts. Notice that. 2 aces, each get 1 point. We did not put our 10 points in. We have pretty much tested just about everything. And at this point, we're out of time. So in my next video, hopefully we'll be able to wrap up this game and get the game working. And then you can impress your friends. And hopefully you can take these ideas here and use them for all kinds of other types of card games and have a lot of fun with it. Good luck with that. See you in a little bit. Yeah.